Goodman, Bob Ryan here for CLNS Media and the Garden Report. And listen, the shorthanded Celtics are going to have to deal without your favorite player on the planet, Bob, and that is one Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart, I have to show you my Marcus Smart fan club, card. Yeah, I'm glad he's going to be okay. Presumably, that wasn't fun to watch, and I'm glad to see. I was watching at that moment, and I'm glad to see that it's going to be. They're telling us a temporary couple of weeks, and that's fine. They're different without him. I don't care what I know. His 3-point shooting has regressed again this year, down to 31%, and all that. It's not what it's not the important thing. He's still, the other stuff is still there. I don't have to go through the whole litany. I think he's very important to this team, and whatever they're going to be, they got to have him. I'm very concerned, about the early returns on someone else, however, namely the little point guard.
Yeah, Kemba's just, he doesn't look himself, and maybe we just need to give him more time, Bob.
We got to have some patience here, but
He came back early enough. That's the good thing. Honestly, I thought we were going to be looking at like coming back February 1st. He came back a couple of weeks earlier, which is good. He can maybe shake off some of the rust. I think we have to evaluate Kemba, honestly, after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
That's what we got to see. How is Kemba in late March? That is going to be the key, because if you get Kemba, we see what Jaylen Brown has been, different level Jaylen Brown. We know what Tatum's going to be. And the good thing is, and the hard thing is right now, you haven't had Peyton Pritchard either. He's banged up, because if you had Pritchard, at least you'd have another a point guard, so you wouldn't miss Marcus Smart for anything other than his defense and toughness, which is huge. Yeah. But at least you'd have Pritchard. You'd have a little bit more depth. I'm a little bit worried how they're going to be here in the next couple of weeks without Marcus Smart. But ultimately, listen, you're playing for at the end of the season in the playoffs to peak at the right time, and you're not terrified of any one team. It's not like the Brooklyn Nets are going to be the number one overall seed in the East. Like, you're going to have to get lucky with matchups to some degree.
Yeah, no, I'm right. It's and if all the pieces are assembled, and if Kemba comes back to 80% or 90% of what he was, they're going to be a damn good team in the spring. I really believe that. How about we can't. I don't want to exaggerate it, but it was certainly heartwarming. Grant Williams nailing 3 threes against the Warriors, and because we're very big Grant Williams people here.
How can you not be?
Are
you worried? Are you worried now? I mean, this big man duo of Tyson and Tristan Thompson, like, we loved it early. We loved it coming out of the gates, maybe not together. I didn't love them playing together, but I was like, all right, Tristan's good signing. He'll be the starter. Tyson will come off the bench. Now it looks like it's going to be Tice starting, or maybe it's just Brad feeling it, and he can keep them both happy and bring them both in and out.
Well, but there's a third part of the equation up there, and then Robert Williams. I mean, he gives them something that the others don't. And the very revealing of the day, I was like, oh my God, I'm reading the paper, actually read a real newspaper, the Boston Globe, and there are these numbers on what the teams are doing to him at the rim, and where they rank in the league in this capacity, and it's right near the bottom, and except when Robert Williams is out there, and it is very different. And he's making incremental offensive improvement. Is he something? I'm asking you now. Is he somebody just you think can't ultimately be denied if they're going to fulfill whatever destiny they have this year, or is he just going to be a luxury item?
Yeah, I just don't think you can trust him day in and day out. I think he's going to be one of those guys you throw him in, and if he's locked in emotionally, mentally, okay, you know what? Yeah, listen, the problem with Tyson and Tristan are they're both 6'9". They're 6'9". Robert Williams is 6'11", and he's a freak athlete. Freak athlete.
Yeah.
So at his best, right, he's a guy who can really protect the rim. Those other guys do as good a job as they could possibly do, but ultimately they are what they are. All right, last question before we let you go. Last question, and you can make it short if you want. If you're the Celtics, if you're Danny Ainge, do you make a run at JJ Redick?
Who's shooting terribly, but might be revived.
Not playing much either.
With the exception, with the money, with the financial exception they have, yes. The answer is
You
yes.
take a shot. I would too.
I would too. Yes.
You know why? You know why? Because I think even if he's not consistently making shots, you always have to account for him out there.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No. Precisely. No. I shouldn't have hesitated. I didn't really hesitate. I just was
I just
wary.
feel like throw him out there. Who would you rather have out there standing out there, Jeff Teague or JJ Redick? Clutch game, because ultimately he's going to space the floor for you so that Jaylen Brown can have room to operate. So Jason Tatum can have room to operate. So Kemba Walker can have room to operate. So to me, yeah, I think they should do it in a heartbeat, because I also think he's a really good locker room guy. So the combination, I think you need older guys who have been through it over and over and over, not to say like we saw it in the bubble last year, and we've seen it with Tatum at times at the end of games where he'll settle. He just hasn't been there enough yet. He hasn't done it enough. And I think a guy like Redick, who's more vocal, like Kemba's great as a leader, but he's quiet.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's not going to. JJ and Kemba are very different in their personalities. So I would bring on JJ Redick in a heartbeat, add him to this team, and feel like they made themselves considerably better.
And I'll pick him up at the airport. I can make time for that.
All right, there you have it. Jeff Goodman, Bob Ryan, CLNS Media, The Garden Report.